In Lordaeron the Aftermath, we have 4 God tier heroes: the Lich King, Ragnaros, Kil'jaden, and Deathwing. These 4 are counted as God tier heroes. We have other heroes which could also count as a God tier hero, such as Empowered Illidan or Frost King Malak, but we will not be talking about them today. Today we'll be talking about which of these 4 God heroes are the best. We will start with the Lich King.
Come then, champions, feed me your rage.
To get the Lich King, you will need Arthas to reach level 15. Then you can merge him with Ner'zhul and thus becoming the Lich King. The Lich King himself has a lifesteal when he attacks, which has recently been buffed, so his normal attacks are a very powerful asset if he wants to survive in combat. The Lich King does not have the ability to fly or walk on water, which makes escaping from him harder compared to Deathwing and Kil'jaden. His arsenal of spells are very powerful. In big fights many units dies, and then the Lich King has the ability to resurrect many of them to his army. The Lich King has a Fort Lightning ability which can be targeted to a couple of units. His Lotus Swarm also makes a good AoE when many enemy units are around him. This also heals him up, so Lotus Swarm with lifesteal makes him get his health up again very fast. The Lich King also has an extra ability, Death Coil, that cannot be leveled up but still serves as a great healing ability or sniping ability. His ultimate is decent. The Death Gate allows him to summon a unit that cannot move, which can deal damage to units around it, and summons a swarm of skeletons. This ability is great to either put in the front as a meat shield or behind the enemy tanks to target down casters, siege, elite or other units. Next on the list is the Old Gods champion, Deathwing.
The sun has set on this mortal world. Make peace with your end, for the hour of twilight falls.
Deathwing is an enormous dragon which can be summoned from Deep Home once Cho'Gall reaches level 15. Deathwing has the luxury of being a flying unit, which gives him a great advantage in fighting armies or hero squads. Deathwing cannot be aimed down by armies or many heroes. However, his great weakness is flying units. A swarm of gargoyles can many times be the end of this great being, or Troll Bat Riders works as well. His normal attack works like the Burning Oil passive on Demolisher. This allows him to burn the ground around the unit he attacks, which can be very powerful when attacking from behind on caster or caster elites. His arsenal of abilities is very powerful. The first ability is Rain of Fire, which is very good to use while in air. It allows you to easier move behind or in the middle of the enemy army and use it down on casters and all kind of other things. Agents of Ragnaros almost works like Rain of Fire. It deals damage on the area you select, and it summons fire elementals. The elementals themselves are very powerful. They have spell immunity, permanent immolation, and blink, so they can be very handy to chase down heroes or other units you want to take out. Next ability is Sinastra's Experiments, which can summon 4 Twilight Dragons that last for 6 seconds, so a nice summon right there. For the last ability is Cataclysmic Tempest, which summons 10 ravaging tornadoes of fire around the location Deathwing used to spell. The ability can be very powerful, however, it can also be a little backfiring. As I mentioned, it summons 10 tornadoes, but you are not in control of these tornadoes, which means they go where they please, so the enemy army can move away and save units, but of course it can be very useful at the same time. The third god on our list is the Demon Lord Kil'jaden.
I will bleed this wretched world and secure my place as the true master of the Burning Legion.
In order to summon Kil'jaden to Azeroth, you will need a Book of Medivh and a Dreadlord at level 15. Or you can summon him with the Sunwell, which requires a level 10 hero and a hero that has the Book of Medivh. Kil'jaden himself is a powerful Demon Lord. He's a ranged caster hero that has the possibility to summon demon portals wherever he wants to. From these portals he can train Doom Guards, Infernals and other powerful demon units. Kil'jaden can walk on water, which means he can escape chasing armies or heroes easier than a Lich King or Ragnaros. Kil'jaden's arsenal of spells are very powerful. First off, he has a Chaos Breath, which works the same way as a Breath of Fire. Next is Reign of Chaos, which means he summons multiple Infernals on a selected area, which stuns nearby enemy units on impact. His third spell is a Lotus Swarm, so Kil'jaden has some healing to himself and some kind of AoE around him. His ultimate can be quite powerful, since it selects a rather large area and stuns all units and heroes in it. In the selected area, the units also take damage, which can be a good way to slow down an enemy you're trying to catch, or just a good ability to deal a lot of damage to a large part of the enemy army. The last god on our list is the Fire Lord Ragnaros.
Minions of fire! Purge the outsiders!
Ragnaros is a very large fire elemental which can only be summoned as Dark Iron Dwarves at level 15 in Shadowforge City. When Ragnaros attacks, he also leaves the ground burning, much like Deathwing. His attack speed is also a little bit higher than the other God Tower heroes. Ragnaros is a deadly foe to fight against with armies due to his abilities. His first one is Fissure, which summons volcanoes in a selected area that starts to shoot rocks with lava to nearby enemy units. The volcanoes can be attacked, but is still a very strong ability. His second one is Elemental Rain, which is Starfall, but a much shorter cast time. His third ability is Fireland Elementals. He summons 4 of them, and much like Deathwing, they have Blink and Permanent Immolation. The big difference is that these do not have spell immunity but are much stronger, and when they die they split up into smaller ones. Ragnaros' ultimate is the same as Deathwing, which spawns raging fire tornadoes around Ragnaros. He also have a passive, a Permanent Immolation, which makes attacking Ragnaros close by dangerous. Ragnaros is not a very slow hero compared to Kil'jaden and the Lich King. He walks faster than these two, which makes catching him harder than the others. He's unable to walk on water, but Ragnaros does not need this. Now we have heard what all these gods can do. Now it's time to rank them all. This has been hard, but this is how I rank them. On 4th place, we have the champion of the old gods, Deathwing. As much as I love this guy, I have to say he's the weakest of the 3 others. His weakness to the flying units is too big to avoid. Whenever Deathwing is summoned, everybody knows how to deal with him instantly. His abilities is very strong, but he won't make up for the weakness that is most of the time the end of him. Now to number 3. I've put Kil'jaden as number 3. Why? As useful he is with summoning demon portals and his AoE damage, it isn't as strong as the 2 others. All of the Legion units takes 3 times more damage from magic, which cripples his army a lot. His Fell Breath requires him to run close to the front, which could lead to surround him easily if the player is good enough. His Reign of Chaos summons Infernals that stuns, but these still take 3 times more from magic damage. Kil'jaden does have a greater way of escaping using the sea, but if he escapes, it's a sign that he is most likely losing against his enemy and he can't defeat him with what he has. Now onwards to number 2, which is our Fire Lord Ragnaros. Ragnaros is a very fast hero, so escaping is not too hard for him. His burning oil effect on his attacks is deadly, and especially with his attack speed. His 3 AoE spells can wreck armies to pieces. His elementals is also a very good unit to use to chase heroes or to chase other important units. They also serve as a good meat shield since when they die they split into smaller ones. Of course, it is very obvious who's number 1 now. Yep, Airiest, the Lich King. Now I'll answer the big question why I've chosen him as number 1. His lifesteal and abilities make him capable of staying so long in the fight than the others. He can stand on the front line more than the others. If you give this guy more attack speed, he will regenerate his health even more quickly, and his abilities can help him if his health drops down low. The Death Coil heals a lot, and the Lotus Swarm deals damage and heals him. His Animated Death spell proves to be an excellent spell to use to get some meat shield along with Death Gate. Now that is for my video, and if you disagree with any of my picks, then I would love to hear what you guys think down in the comments, and thank you so much for watching this video, and until next time guys, see ya!